Hello, lovely people. This is Sakino on Sunday again. I am in the middle of teaching the 5th module of my Heal Your Roots training, which is about trauma and family constellations. And it is the first time that I am teaching this on Zoom. And I just want to share with you a few thoughts and experiences that I am having during this period. I, as obviously many of us and you, am exposed to many challenges during this time of Corona. And some of the challenges are obviously more daring than others. So teaching this trauma module on Zoom for me was very daring and very scary. I prepared as I always do, and I was so thinking about how can I create a safe space for all of us on Zoom, because I know that teaching about trauma always triggers emotions in people, including me. So I prepared, and I even prepared a PowerPoint presentation on Zoom, which I hadn't done before, because I thought at least some of the teaching that when I do it in person, the participants, the students, they get papers handed out and we go through them. So this time I thought maybe I can do it on Zoom with a PowerPoint with a few pictures and everything. But how I felt yesterday doing all of that and teaching the way I was teaching, I was kind of in a, how would I say, in a kind of alert state all day. Alert in that sense that I was very aware of all the participants and wanting to provide the best possible safe space. I don't know if it worked. I hope so. But there is always a little bit of insecurity or uncertainty that what I am doing is in fact providing the best that I can provide. On top of teaching, I also was subscribing to participation in an online seminar myself in the evenings with a teacher that I have done more before with, and I really wanted to do that. And this started right after my teaching ended. So what happened yesterday was that after my seminar had ended and I was attending and switching on the Zoom seminar of this other teacher that I was participating, I noticed, no, it's really not the right time to teach a full day and then in the evening participate in another 3 hours intense workshop. So I allowed myself to switch it off. I went back in for a little while and again I thought, no, this is too much for me now. I don't want that. I switch it off. I can always watch the recording later if I want to. And there was one element in the teaching of that other teacher, which already I noticed in the seminar I attended before with him, that was putting a little bit of pressure on me. And dealing with trauma, I found out for myself and also for my clients and for my students, pressure does not work. At least not with me and with the people I know. So phrases like, you have to, or it would be good if you did this or that, they just put me off. And this may be due to the fact that I grew up with a lot of pressure, with a lot of have-tos. And I'm very, very sensitive to pressure. So if I have the slightest perception that someone is pressurizing, for me it's the trigger, no, this is not what I need right now, and this is not what I want right now. So I felt that a little bit yesterday in this seminar with that teacher, and I allowed myself to say no. And I think this is a good thing to do. It doesn't matter what anybody else says. If inside myself I feel no, this at this moment is not right for me, then I will have to turn my back and not do it. For many people, this is really, really difficult. And it has been for me in the past. Because I was kind of believing in authorities, believing in teachers, they would know better than I would. But in recent years, I noticed that who knows the best, what is the best for me, is myself. And I learned to trust that. So turning off and leaving that seminar last night was very healthy for me. And I always notice when something is fitting, is congruent, then I sleep well. I don't have difficulties to fall asleep. And I wake up in the morning with a good feeling. And that's how it was. And I really hope and wish that I can transmit this attitude also to my clients and my students. To learn to trust their own intuition, and not only the intuition, trust their own body sensations. When something gives me a stomach ache or makes me feel nauseous, I have to inquire if what I'm doing at that particular moment is the right thing for me. And then trust that my perception is the right perception for me. And even if it leads me into a direction that later I would not have chosen, it's still my way, my decision. So this is what I wanted to share today with you. And also to allow yourself to take breaks. I have chosen for these present days a huge program that I'm attending. I'm teaching and I'm attending other seminars. I'm attending a conference in the next couple of days. Those were all free choices that I made. Nobody forced me into that. And while I'm doing it, while I'm in it, I still, at any given moment, can change the direction that I'm going. I can stop what I'm doing. At any time, it's up to me. There is no external force forcing me to do things that are not right for me at that moment. And I encourage you to do that too. Follow your own truth, so to say. Well, this is a quite difficult word to use, because what is truth? And to know my own truth, I have to be really willing to be honest with myself. But I encourage you to do that. Even if you have made choices to do things and you notice while you are doing them they are not right for you, you can still stop and change direction. So I wish you a beautiful weekend and a good week ahead with all the challenges that are still in our reality right now. Thank you for listening.